Hey everyone, welcome back to another fantastic episode of This Week at Tate Yoko. My name is Garrett. Before we get into things, don't forget, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We got a jam-packed episode as usual. We've got a whole bunch of warehouse updates as well as a big segment on how to take lifestyle photos or fit pics and how I do it here. But let me come around to the front and I'll show you my fit for today. So I have on my vintage 8th cap, and you may notice I've paired it again with another vintage herringbone item, P41 chore coat, I guess you could call it, or like jacket from the 40s. I have on my Mr. Brief tank top here, and my little smiling Buddha jade guys popping out there. Of course, for good luck, you gotta have some jade on you. The black thick belt, my left hand twill strong guys, about, I don't know, 8 or 9 months on these. I don't know, you can go back in the archives and the videos and see when I first started wearing these, but I think it was somewhere between last October and last December, something like that. And then of course I have on my Mr. Lou Wesco Boss, and inside of those I have on my, I think they're the Abenaki Durée socks, which have been very popular lately. And in my pocket is my black shell cordovan card case, of course my Benchmade 940, and that's about it. Oh yeah, watch, right. I always forget. Ooh. Of course, the DW5000R G-Shock from Casio. I did place another order for these. So they're sold out right now, but we're gonna have more in stock probably by the end of the week, I would guess. And this last batch is like all that's left for Canada. Like, I've talked to the distributor and I ordered every single one that they had.
No way.
And so once we sell out, there'll be no more for Canada until they make more in Japan. So anyways, get them while they're hot. Sign up for a back in stock notification on the DW5000R. Terry, what are you wearing today?
Okie dokily over here. So here I am. I'm still in summer vacation mode over here. Maybe got like that energy, that little bit of dad energy, cat dad energy in my case. So let's give you a little bit of a rundown of what I'm wearing today. As always, bottom to top. So I still got my Goral / Roseanne Smugs over here. They got some like fruit juice stains on it. That's not blood. Yeah,
type of fruit.
Interesting choice of shoe for working in the warehouse. I know they weren't cheap, but hey, I really quite like them. They've really molded to my feet.
What juice or fruit are those?
What fruit got juiced on there? I'm just going to say wild raspberry. Yeah, wild suburban raspberry to be specific.
Nice.
Over there. Got the jorts over here in Easy Guy. These, of course, are the 10-ounce Kuluris. We haven't had these for a while, but similar to our 11-ounce, I wear these riding the bike. But I've had them for years and years and years, ever since I started working over here. So they're getting really worn in right now, my everyday jorts. I only have these pair, so that's all I wear in terms of jorts. I'll keep wearing them until they turn into dust. As always, I got the old Veg Tan thick belt. I got a circulating tee in white, and I got the Jungle Vacation, the aptly named Jungle Vacation short sleeve easy shirt over here, just helping me relax a little bit there for our deep summer energy we have over here. The old G-Shock GWM 600, very similar, not quite as fancy, but very similar to the one that we'll have on our website very soon. That's it for me over here today. I will give you guys just a little quick update of what's going on. If you're waiting a little bit extra longer for your hems, you're a little bit understaffed because, hey, jungle vacation mode right now. So just bear in mind that we're working our hardest to get all those hems out the door as quick as possible. But thank you a little bit for all your patience on that front. But in terms of the warehouse over here, we have new jeans coming out every single week. So the Iceberg did really, really well, actually. The people wanted like that lightweight, that summer energy, but has a bit more of like a substantial. Feels lightweight, but
not
also
see-through.
But also not flimsy.
Yeah, white pants, but won't show your underwear.
Yeah, and there's another one this week over here, the double dip, with twice as many dips as your regular pair of jeans.
A full 16 dips.
All 16 dips there.
For some high contrast fade action.
How many licks to get the center of one of our I can't really do the Tootsie Pop joke on those jeans. But maybe someone out there is old enough to try and guess what I attempted to reference.
I know what you mean. Yeah. It also makes me think of like Jawbreakers.
Yes.
I used to love those.
Yes, all the layers. So there's at least 16 layers of indigo on there. Trying to count them all. Okay.
So we do have a few straggler MIJ15s left over. They should be on the website now-ish. So if you haven't already, sign up for a back in stock notification if you didn't get yours the first time. A few people wanted to change sizes, so we had to cancel a few orders, move things around. So because of that, there may be a few left over if you missed out on the first release. The Dures are moving fast as well. I mentioned the Merino Wool DeVille and the Abenakis.
Yeah, the lighter weight ones are gone for the summer there. So hey, we just launched them this spring. So people going for lightweight socks, I imagine they're going to be going for those heavyweight socks once they're reminded that yes, it gets cold every year.
The thing is too, like people are, oh, I can't wear wool socks in the summer. But for me, they're not any hotter than cotton.
Absolutely
and
not.
You know, if your feet do get sweaty, because sometimes you wear a certain shoe, they don't breathe that well, you can take your shoes off, and in 5 minutes, it wicks away all the moisture, and then your socks are bone dry, you're comfortable again. Whereas, like, I find cotton socks in the summer, they get sweaty, and then they stay wet and damp the whole day.
Yeah, and they smell.
Yeah.
They smell.
Yeah. And then lastly, I mentioned already the Mr. Brief tank tops, beaumarchais.com. Those have been popular, so thanks, guys. A few of us around the office do wear these. You don't have any, but
I am not Mr. Briefed up yet there. I still got my circulated tee, but maybe I'll go for Mr. Brief.
It works good with the Aloha shirt,
It
I find.
probably would work well with this shirt there. I'd really complete the look.
All right, so we got a special segment today. I got lots of show notes right here. We're gonna go take a deep dive in how we do our lifestyle photos, how you guys can take better fit pics. All right, so we're out here. We're just a few meters away from our building at one of my favorite spots to shoot photos here, the black garage door. I like this spot because it helps have the subject kind of pop out here. So Terry, you can just move right over here. And Terry's gonna right there. A little bit that way. Perfect.
There we go.
So when you're shooting jeans typically are a darker color. So you want the background to be as dark or darker. If you shoot on a bright background, like a white background, the jeans are gonna look almost black, or it's gonna be hard to see that detail. So I look for backgrounds when I wanna show off darker jeans that are dark backgrounds, just so that the jeans appear a little bit brighter here. So in terms of the lighting here, we can see the sun is right up here behind Terry. Anyways, so when the light is coming from the side or from the back, it's gonna create a little bit more of a 3D-ness on your subject. So back here, this light is kind of coming from the side and I'm from the back. So it's got this backlighting effect, this rim light on Terry, which is gonna help pop him out from the background. And then down here below on the ground, we have a bunch of concrete. The sun is shining onto that concrete, as well as the blue sky behind us, which is gonna help fill in and have our fill light for Terry here. Okay, so this is the camera here. We got our Sony A7 24-70 f2.8 Sigma lens. Yeah, can you hold on to this? Now I like this black door just because it also helps frame, so I have kind of a nice frame in the shot. Turn more towards me, Terry. So that's spot number one.
That's spot number one. It's important to maintain a dialogue with a model to keep them at ease, communicate with them like constantly. Maybe it's not their first time. Not everybody was put on this planet to stand in front of cameras and look relaxed while doing it. So a little bit of small talk can really break the mood and get a bit more of a natural look in the face, natural laughter. That's always the best. Of course, there are professional models, and those guys are great.
All right, so we're here at location B. You'll definitely recognize it. So this is basically the alleyway that runs behind our building. I really like alleyways because they give you a lot of options in terms of lighting. There's some shady areas, bright areas, a lot of light bouncing off of doors and walls and that kind of things. So the alley is great. Also, it has good leading lines, which is basically like kind of that 3D effect, which you can help use to guide the eye toward your subject. All right, so our camera just overheated, so we had to wait 5 minutes for it to cool down. But as I was saying, we got a nice dark background here. We have the light area, and then if you look over there, there's a nice bright white bay door, which gives some nice fill light. Because again, as I was mentioning here, the sun is just up there, so it's going to be coming kind of over Terry's shoulder, giving him that backlighting, that side rim lighting, and then we're going to have nice soft light on the front of the subject. Now, the other thing that's very important, another thing that I notice a lot of people doing wrong, is the angle of the camera, okay? So when you're photographing, so Terry, just back up a little bit, we'll just show us as an example. We want to keep the camera perpendicular to the subject. And what that means is basically like straight up and down, like there's a right angle. So when we're shooting at Terry, we don't want the camera to be too far up or too far down most of the time, unless you're using it for a creative purpose. If you point the camera down, so let me just give you an example right here. We'll take one photo of Terry. You're gonna notice that his head and his torso has become larger, but his legs has become smaller because I just basically stood where my eye was, pointed down, and you get an ugly photo. The same goes for if you point the camera up. So now I'm gonna do this, point the camera up, and you're gonna notice that his legs look a lot longer, his torso looks smaller, and his head looks smaller. This is sometimes used in fashion. We sometimes use it with a wider angle lens to accentuate the legs, to make it look more dramatic for creative purposes. So you can do this if you like, but just know that it is gonna have effect with perspective. But most of the time, what you're gonna wanna do is keep the camera perpendicular to the subject, and that's gonna make sure that you have less distortion from basically like perspective of it tilting back and forth. Speaking of distortion, you also want to be careful with the lens that you use. So I mentioned here that this lens goes from 24 all the way up to 70. Normally when we shoot usually between the 50 millimeter and 70 millimeter mark, just because using that longer lens gives you a few bonuses, or like, I don't know how to say it, but a few perks. So number one would be that it reduces the distortion. So you're gonna have less distortion from basically the top of the bottom to the frame, or the like mechanical distortion. Also, just in terms of like the facial structure, you have to back up. So his nose relative to his ears isn't gonna be too much closer to his camera. So it's gonna make people look a little bit more beautiful. Also, it's going to increase compression, so the background looks a little bit closer to the subject, and also reduces the amount of depth of field, so you get more of that like bokeh look, the blurry background that people associate with professional photography. If you want to do wide, you can do wide, but you're going to have a more dynamic or creative look. You're going to have more distortion, like I mentioned, less depth of field, so everything is going to be in focus, which makes it harder to shoot. You're going to see more background, more context, and I'd say in general wide angle has to use more skill to be done well, where it's easier to shoot with a longer lens. But again, generally we shoot with a 50 to 70 millimeter. Sometimes we even use the 110, which is like the longest lens that we have. Okay, so now I'm going to demo you for the difference between shooting with the wide angle and like basically the different focal lengths, and you'll be able to see the difference. As you can see here, we have Terry. He's got just a little bit of light shining on his back, on his left side. We have that nice dark area in the background, and then we have this light area in front of us, which is shining up onto him, giving him a little bit of fill light. So let's take a few photos. First, we'll start at the wide angle, just to give you an understanding of how this is going to look. So this is 24 millimeters wide angle lens. Now we're going to back up, and we're going to shoot at 35 millimeters. And then we're going to back up a little bit more, 50 millimeters. and then all the way to 70 millimeters. So I'll put all 4 photos here beside each other so you can kind of see the difference of how the 70 millimeters has more compression, more blur in the background, less distracting in general, and I'd say overall better photo for this type of photo. So all of these tips are going to work no matter what type of camera you're using, whether it's an iPhone, a point and shoot camera, or a professional camera. But in general, if you can afford it, I would recommend getting a camera with a full frame sensor, something like this. It doesn't have to be expensive. They've been making full frame digital cameras for a long time. There's also all 35 millimeter film cameras are full frame as well. And if you're just starting out, I'd recommend you get it with a 50 millimeter lens, the fastest one you can afford, whether it's the 1.8, 1.4, or 1.2. And if you're just, you have any budget and you can buy any camera, some of my favorite cameras for shooting fashion are the Mamiya RZ67, the Canon 5D, any version, the Leica SL, again, any version, or the Fuji GFX, any version, are all great for taking fit pics and fashion photos. So I think that's gonna do it. I hope you guys get out and take some good fit pics and tag us in your photos.
And we're back, so I hope you found that segment extremely enlightening. I found it quite amusing to be out there in the sun there, doing a little bit of photography 101 with Garrett over there. Can't believe we're giving away this information for free, but there you go. That's how we make stuff happen over here at Tate Yoko. So this moves us on to the section, that special section that every video that you guys know is coming. This is the word of the week section there, where if you put the special word in the comment section of your order, you can be entered to win a little prize from us or get a couple of extra stickers, some knickknacks, and some kind words of love from someone here at the team. Last week, the word was really, really good. It was Garrett's recommendation. The word, of course, was davit. And the davit is a special type of crane used for lowering lifeboats off ships over there. And the winner was all the way from Portland, Oregon. We have Travis. Travis says he bought a pair of these beautiful Strong Guy icebergs. Excellent choice. I'm gonna leave them in the bag to make sure they stay minty fresh. And Travis says he's ready to rock these all whites. And they're gonna have to treat your boy like Jack Harlow at the Derby and lower him into the Labor Day weekend cookout like a lifeboat off a davit, smooth, steady, and ready for the drip. So, Travis,
very good.
Excellent comment. Love it. 10 on 10. Enjoy this bag with all our love. Have fun at the cookout. Wish I was there.
Be careful with the barbecue sauce.
Be careful with the barbecue sauce here. Yeah, these are not barbecue sauce rated. Anyway, enjoy it. For everyone else who's still watching this video once again, and for the next week, I have a special word for you as well. So put this word in the comment section of your order and we will see what we can find for you. So that word is cirque. That's cirque. I want you to think very big. I think in geological terms, really, really big things. And then you can kind of gather in that little space there and listen to us talk next week. So the word is cirque, and that is all for us here at Tate Yoko. As always, thank you so much for watching. Big thank you for being part of our community, and be kind, look after each other. Bye-bye.